Hi, I'm Jules Damschke. I'm a project manager and instructional designer at Liberate Learning. Recently I was chatting with a potential new client and they asked me to talk about the instructional models that we use at Liberate to kind of inform our design work. And I kind of thought about that question and I wanted to give a good answer, and it felt like throwing the names of well-known instructional design models at the client felt a little kind of insincere and a little bit meaningless. So I wanted to come up with a bit more of an authentic answer that actually was relevant to, to adult learners in the workplace. So I kind of, I reflected on that and thought about, what are the things that underpin all of the different types of learning that we create for all of the different organisations. And one of the things that I kind of came to realise was the importance of striking that right balance in a piece of learning between theoretical and conceptual information and practical, pragmatic strategies for the learner to take away from the learning. So I thought today I'd spend a couple of minutes discussing that, kind of getting that balance right. So in terms of the theoretical or conceptual information, from my perspective it serves three main purposes. One is that it provides that really rich and meaningful context to a piece of learning. What are we doing and why are we doing it? And research shows that adult learners who are provided that context are more receptive and open to the learning that they're about to do. The second purpose feeds directly from that, and it's about engagement. Okay, so it's about that cognitive engagement. When I was a teacher, we used to call that at the start of the lesson the hook. So it's when you do some sort of task or activity that hooks in the learner, activates their prior knowledge, gets them thinking about the learning and how it relates to them, and in the case of workplace learning, to their role within the organisation, and sort of switches them on cognitively to sort of forget about everything else and focus on that piece of learning. And the third purpose for that sort of theoretical or conceptual information is something that I feel really strongly about as someone who was a teacher for over 10 years. And that's that idea of education for education's sake. I personally think there's still a place for that in adult learning in a workplace. In much the same way that going for a run is good for your lungs and for your heart, learning is good for your brain. It teaches you how to think, come up with new ideas, critique other people's ideas, problem solve, really meaningful skills and, ways of thinking that you can take into any role in any organisation. So I think there's still a place for that in an adult learning setting. So that's that notion of that theoretical or conceptual, and that needs to be balanced with concrete and practical strategies. People are extraordinarily busy in today's world. So if we're asking them to carve out 15 minutes, half an hour out of their day to do a piece of learning, it needs to be extraordinarily useful. And they need to walk away from it with 2 or 3 strategies that they can hold on to and take with them back into their roles to help them do their job better and to increase their sense of job satisfaction. In any professional learning I've ever done in my career and in any different organisation, that's what I often look for. What can I use here, and what can I take back into the workplace to kind of help me perform my job better? You don't want a dozen, it's too much. 2 or 3 concrete, tangible strategies or processes that the learner can then take with them into their role. I think when you get that balance right between the two, it creates a really powerful piece of learning, one that means something to the learner and one that's useful to the learner. And that's, the essence of good adult learning. So if you're looking to create a piece of learning at your organisation, you want to make sure you get that balance right, give us a call at Liberate Learning and we'd love to talk to you about it. Thanks very much.